Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What's going on, everybody? How are we doing today? Let's just make sure we got everything set up properly. Do. Checking to make sure the mic's working too. How we looking? How we feeling? Yep. Oh, we are good to go. All right. Oh, no. Of course. I got this really nice, what's it called over here? We're in a different suit today. Wish I had the distance to get that in there. Nice little pocket guy going on here. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? I'm going to set the mood a little bit too. I was in the mood for a nice little cigar today, so I stopped off and picked up a little miniature cigar. Going with a little Romeo and Julieta. Do that, and then we'll discuss some fragrance here in a second. Hopefully the sound is doing all right. Give me one in the chat for the what's it called? For the sound. We'll smoke a little cigar. We'll talk about some shit today. First off, it's Monday. How are you guys all doing? Awesome. Yeah, this isn't a sweet. I wish it was sweet. I was going to go with sweet, but I was feeling a little bit more stout than the sweetness. Oh, shit. Oh, well, with that gas later. No big deal. So, how we all doing today? Man, I'll tell you guys what. I'm, how can I explain things? I'm in a weird mood today. I want to hear how you guys are doing on your end. I'm just in a really weird mood. I don't get very easily irritable. But I don't want to say irritable because I don't really get off my emotional rocker too often, but I was pretty pissed today. For some reason, some things just pissed me off. That's why we're going to smoke a cigar. We're going to lounge out for a little while. We're going to chat. That's why I threw some music on in the beginning to do that, the countdown. I'm kind of in a mood. Yeah, that's kind of the best way to put it. I'm in a mood. For sure on the mood. It's too damn hot in Cali. Today wasn't too bad. We actually got some thunder and some rain. My dog went crazy again because of the thunder. I was trying to get on a call. That's something that frustrated me too. But I went to jiu-jitsu earlier. Crushed it at jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is great. But that also, there's a little bit of frustration that's going on there too. I don't really want to bring that up though live on stream, but there's just some, I don't know. The way I feel about a lot of stuff right now is just really, I'm perplexed by a lot of things. I wanted to announce something today too. I think I could. I should dox Chance. I don't know if he'll come over here though. Hey buddy, you want to come over here? Come here, poopies. Come on, the boy. We're going to have a little fun until people come in to chat. Come up here. Come on. Come on. All the way up. Come on, boy. All the way up. Come on. Oh, no, huh? You want to go this side? It's not going to happen. Not the way it's set up right now. Huh? I know, huh? Yeah, he's just hanging out. He's too big to come up here right now. Yes, no go. I got some good photos of him I should share. Yeah, I do need a vacation. I could definitely use that, but more than anything, I could use some fucking money. Get some things going. I think that's a little bit too, you know, I'm going to be honest. I didn't really want to come up on here today, but I've been trying to stick to this. I'm pretty frustrated with this channel. That's one thing I'm going to be kind of upfront with. I think this channel is dead. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think this channel is dead. Ever since I came back, I've lost followers. I think that has more to do. I think that has more to do with YouTube than it does have to do with people that were subscribed. There's no way this channel is going to grow. Like, I love the content that I've produced so far. I really do. I love the content. I'm happy that the content's out. I'm glad I did all this, but this channel is not gonna grow past where it's at. I think it's dead. I'm not gonna get any bump in the algorithm. I mean, we got 5 people watching live right now. People aren't gonna share. I'm being honest with you guys. So I'm not trying to be like Debbie Downer here. I fucking hate being Debbie Downer. But it's like the reality. I'm getting 250 on average views on each show that I do. I mean, that's fucking nothing, especially for the effort and energy I'm putting into talking about this stuff. I've moved into something else though. Like I said, I'm more into growing my Twitter account right now. So if you guys haven't gone over to my Twitter, I highly recommend you guys get on there. There's a better group. The other thing too is I'm really trying to separate from the quote unquote manosphere. That's not me anymore. I'm more into just men's development and helping guys grow out of certain aspects of their life. I think fear is a big one. I just did a poll on my Twitter asking people what they wanted to hear most of, and they want to hear more about my military experience, and they want to hear more about my experience in the military of overcoming fear. So I'm really going to start putting a lot of effort into growing my Twitter account. I also developed a new product, which I think I'm going to turn into a course. I'll show you guys right now. I don't care. Fuck it. This was going to be my big announcement. Still debating on what I'm going to do with that, but I created another book. I created another book just recently. So in July, August, I wrote the second part to A Patriarch's Vision, Order from Chaos. And then 2 weeks ago, I wrote a new book. Yeah, we'll just go to there. Screw it. I don't care if you guys see this. And then we'll just pull it up. I think it's sharing. I hope it's sharing. Yeah, it's sharing. Why isn't it showing the screen? Oh, there we go. I got to share that screen. Do. No, don't want to invite. Do. Do. There we go. So I just wrote a new book, nice little ebook that I'm going to put on Gumroad. And I think I'm going to turn this into a course as well. I'm going to turn this into a course that's going to be more of like a webinar series. And this book, I highlight specifically, essentially what the back is saying is, hopefully that's not, yeah, there we go. Essentially what the back is saying is, this is Sex and Sales, How to Master Money and Women. Have you ever desired to take ownership of your life so much so that you could source an abundance of money and women? Well, the fact of the matter is there's no magic genie coming to grant any of those to you. So what does that mean? It means that you're going to have to take control of these desires yourself. This is where Sex and Sales comes in. If you want more money, you need to learn how to sell. If you want more women, you need to learn how to sell. In this book, you'll learn the practice of what sales can and will help you become better in business and dating. How dating can help you become better with sales, and how to become better and more proficient with sales in order to create abundance of both money and women in your life. Within this book, you'll master overcoming rejection and fear of rejection, optimizing your appearance, learn confidence, learn how to approach, pitch, and close deals, learn to overcome obstacles, guide outcomes toward your desired goals, and much, much more. Now, the cool part about this too is, hey, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate compliments. Those always get me going. The cool part about this is what I do is I highlight how I learned. So I got into the sales world. I had a sales job previously. And I learned through going through sales that game and gaming women and talking to women and going on dates and all this other stuff was essentially the same thing. And I carried over all my knowledge from gaming women into my sales career. And I did very well in sales, much so that I was able to save up a bunch of money. And that's what I launched this YouTube channel with. And I published my first book. And then I published my second book. And I launched a dating course on Teachable before. I took that down. It got a little outdated. And obviously with everything that happened with other stuff, I decided that wasn't the direction I wanted to go. But here I go again. But I think teaching sales to men is most important. Sales is the root of how all of transactions go about, right? Whether or not you're an entrepreneur, whether or not you're in the tech industry and you have to promote and push an idea or what have you, sales is key. You need to learn how to talk to people, right? And not just that, it's not learning how to talk to people. Right? This is to your bosses. Well, whenever we get rainstorms here and clouds here in San Diego, for some reason the internet goes crazy. So whatever. So follow me on Twitter and yeah. Everything's calculated. This is today. That's what I'm saying. Today is just a fucking shit show when it comes to stuff. One's in the chat if you guys can hear me and if things are looking good. Oh. Fuck me. I was saying, join me on Twitter because I'm going to be launching this product on Gumroad. And I'm going to have everything linked up, and I'm going to put my launch and everything like that on Twitter. Of course, I'm going to put the links and stuff like that here for you guys to see and stuff like that. But I'd much prefer you get on board with me on Twitter as well. It's going to help boost up my numbers on Twitter a little bit more. You guys can share and do all that stuff there. But that's where it's going to go. I'm debating on delaying this product specifically for a little bit because I might, and I probably will develop a webinar series from this instead, because I think that people would get a lot more out of listening to me and other men discuss sales and talk about sales and setting up their pitches, setting up their scripts, going over scripts, role playing, and all that other stuff, rather than just reading this book. But the book is available for those that probably don't want to hit that price point, because it's going to be, that webinar series is going to be a little pricey, right? So join me on Twitter, I Got Amongst Men too. You'll be able to see when I start to pre-sell this or when I start to pre-sell the course as well. Yeah, there's that. That's pretty much that as far as sex and sales is concerned. So I produced this, going to produce a new course, going to really be ramping up my Twitter as well. Might be thinking about a new YouTube channel as well. As I said, this channel, I think is, I think it's dead. I really do. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys all posted, but that's where I'm at. Anyway, let's close that out. I'm glad I got to show you guys that. I think the cover's pretty rad too. So sweet. That's what I've been working on. And of course, man, would I wish for stuff like that to just fucking take off and go. You know what I mean? I like this suit too. This jacket's awesome. It's suede. I don't know if you can see the coloring on it. There we go. Yeah, it's nice and checkered and green. Beautiful color. Really, really enjoy this. So anyway, with that said, let's talk about the fragrance of the day. Someone spoiled it for me the other day, so I figured I might as well talk about it. The fragrance of the day is going to be from MFK again, Maison Francis Kurkdjian. This is Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait. Let's talk about the notes of this particular fragrance, and then I'll give it, oh, goddamn. This shit, insane. But let's talk about the notes real quick. Amber, almond, woody, spicy, warm, animalic, which I don't really pick up on that too much. Nutty, fruity, musky, white floral, and sweet. Is an amber fragrance for women and men. It was launched in 2007. The nose behind this fragrance is Francis Kurkdjian. Top notes are bitter almond and saffron. Middle notes, Egyptian jasmine and cedar. Base notes are ambergris, woody notes, and musk. I would say to you, gentlemen, go and put your nose on this and also put your nose on just Baccarat Rouge 540. I like this much better, even though most people that are going to be selling you are going to warn you. This is highly concentrated. This is about 30%, 40% oil, something you do not want to put on your clothing. A lot of people try to veer you away from this, even though it's much more expensive. It's $425 for a 2.4 ounce. But I'll say this: as much as I like the original, I think it's the Audi Perform. Yeah, Audi Perform. That's a little bit too sweet for me. As much as I love it, and I still wear it, I'll still wear it. It's a little bit too sweet, a little bit too reminiscent of cotton candy. This with the almond note is way more masculine. It's got some deeper notes to it. Oh, and it's still got a little bit of that cotton candy to it, but man. Come on, baby. Ah, fuck it. We'll just roll you on. It's a little bit oily anyway. Oh. Yes, this fragrance is an absolute win. This is an absolute win. And although 2018, it became really popular amongst people who had money, people who wanted to make a statement, and also people that kind of bought into like the I'm rich or I want to be perceived as rich. A lot of people were wearing it then. A lot of people, especially like fragrance reviewers, tried to veer away from this fragrance, particularly because of the popularity. But there's a reason why it's so popular. The thing is, though, this is still a niche house. It's still a niche fragrance. It's going to be high in the category, though, of like the Aventus stuff, right? So people are going to be like, if people know the fragrance and they smell you, they're going to know what fragrance it is. No one's going to be like, oh my God, what fragrance is that? They're going to be like, especially if people know fragrances, they're going to be like, yeah, that guy's rocking that. He's probably important. That smells really good. And then also, let's not forget how it blends and interacts with your skin is a big deal, right? So that's just that. That's the way to do it. I love this fragrance, though. Like I said, when I go to purchase this, I want to buy the 7.2 ounce because this is just a fragrance that I'm going to wear often. I absolutely love it, especially for the season that we're in right now. I'm bouncing between right now my top fragrances that I'm rocking, that I bounce between, and they're all pretty sweet. I'm bouncing between Initio, Rehab from Initio, Oud for Greatness from Initio, Absolute Aphrodisiac from Initio, and this. So those are what I'm bouncing between right now in the season. If you want something that's going to smell pretty similar for a cheaper price than what this is, I don't actually, I do recommend this fragrance, but once you go expensive, it's really hard to go back down to go cheap. It really is. But Spice Bomb Extreme is a phenomenal fragrance to wear. The spicy notes, the woody accords to it, the eccentricity of it, right? I like to wear stuff that's a little bit more eccentric. I know Gookfish hates Fucking Fabulous. I like Fucking Fabulous because I think it's eccentric. But it's also not too eccentric to the point where it's annoying. It's cleverly blended to be, that's the best way I could explain it. It is very alluring. That's the word I really like to use, is alluring. I know other people use different phrases and terminology for it, but that's where it's at. So anyway, that's my recommendation for today. Going with a little bit of a theme of gold and red, right? Put in the Romeo and Julieta and Maison Francis Kurt John. But anyway, let's make sure we're hitting the like button. As you guys can tell, I'm a little off pace today. Whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm in a mood. Right? I'm just in a fucking mood. That's where I'm at right now. I could have fucking just curled up and stayed in bed all day today, but I wanted to go up and fucking hit jujitsu. Glad I hit jujitsu. I was in flow today at jujitsu. Like everything just was kicking. And then right after I left, usually jujitsu does it for me where I'm just like, oh, I'm good. I got it out of my system. Nope. Right when I walked out the door of jujitsu, actually, like right when I finished today, I was still just like, ugh, like fuck all this shit. Fuck everything. That's where I'm at. Fuck everything. I know that sounds really weird. I'm normally not this type of person, but that's really where I'm at today. Anyway, if you guys would like to cheer me up, let's make sure we hit the like button. Haven't gotten a donation from this channel in probably a couple weeks. Would very much appreciate some donations. Description, link to my PayPal, link me some doll hairs, some, some shekels. Hey, Electric Enigma, nice to see you. But let's talk about it today, guys. I figured let's stick with the topic of modern women in relationships because this is something that popped up recently. Friday night, I said, screw it. I hadn't talked to that other girl that I hooked up with like 2 weeks ago. I hit her up on Friday night, just seeing where she's at. And she responded to me with some sass. And she's like, no, I'm not going to do the FB stuff, right? Friends with benefits stuff. I'm looking for a husband. I'm waiting for a husband to come into my life. And I was just like, well, I can be your FB, or I'm going to be your FB until that happens, because obviously I'm not going to be your husband. Right? She's like, no, I'm going to just stay 100% single. I'm like, well, whatever. I forgot what I said. Oh, I said actually, I just closed the conversation. I said, see you tonight. She's like, does that work? Does that work with women? Instead of answering her, I don't answer women's questions, especially when you're being fucking sassy to me. Said, don't talk to me like that. You do not speak to me. You do not speak to me like that. Don't be rude. So last thing I'm going to take from a fucking 29-year-old woman who can't fucking get a man. You know what I mean? Like, you've been bouncing around. You've been hopping off and on the CC for this long. I'm not going to take this shit from you. Anyway, I ended up completely like removing her. I don't want to have a conversation with a person that's going to be that not negative, but also I don't want that stuff in my life. If it's not a emphatic yes, or you trying to make time in your life or go out of your way or whatever, I don't want it. I don't want you in my life. I'm not going to fight for you. And that's essentially what she's trying to do. So what I've come to realize is this, specifically in this case, this woman, she's 29 years old. She got fake tits that I'm pretty sure her parents paid for. She's still living at home with her parents. What? It's a cigar, bro. Get out of here. This is a smoking jacket. It is a smoking jacket. You got to know your jackets. Anyway, I find it absolutely hilarious. And I just brought this case up. This is not me being upset about that. I understand the dating market today. I understand how women are. But I'm just pointing out a very blatant red flag, some really, really big red flags that you guys need to be aware of, especially when it comes to modern women today. Like I said, girl had her college paid for. She's driving her parents' BMW. She's still living at home with mom and dad at 29. Parents paid for her fake titties, I'm pretty sure. Like, this girl is not even close to independent. And her belief system is that somehow, some way, some man is just going to show up and she could play these same games she's playing over and over of like, I'm not going to give you sex until we get married, or I'm not going to do any of this until we get married. I want to know about marriage right off the bat because that's what I want. I want marriage, and that's how it goes. Plain and simple. This woman is in for a fucking rude awakening. A rude awakening. Because what it's come down to is this. These modern women today have been taught that they don't have to bring anything to the table. They are at peak narcissism. They are at peak entitlement. And they think when they're ready, oh, I had my fun. Now it's time for me to settle down. God, where's my Prince Charming? Universe, I'm spiritual now. Where's my Prince Charming? I almost went with Macanudo today, by the way. But I went with, I like these guys. I went with the Romeo and Julieta Petites. I haven't had a Romeo and Julieta in a while. But these are always, Macanudo and Romeo and Julieta are some of the most consistent cigars that you could ever buy. I know we're going on a different topic. My favorite, I love Padrones. I love Ashtons. Believe it or not, I also like to smoke a nice dessert cigar as well. And I'm personally attached to them because of where I grew up. Enfield, Connecticut. So I'm from Ellington, Connecticut. Enfield, Connecticut, though, is one of the biggest shade-growing tobacco regions in the world. And Acid specifically, but a lot of other cigars, they use Enfield shade-grown tobacco for the wrapping leaf. Acid specifically, company that dip their cigar tip in a really flavorful blend. They specifically use shade-grown tobacco leaves from Enfield. I grew up around that area. I don't want to say that I did work tobacco. I almost did a couple times in the summer when I was a kid. But I have a personal connection to it. So I love Acid Blondies, the Cuba Cubas from Acid too. Love those for a nice cigar, like a nice dessert cigar. So there's that. But the Ashtons, the Padrones, those are really good. Those are really, really good. Those are my favorite cigars to smoke, but they're $30 some odd. smoke, right? And they last for hours. But getting back on topic, I had to fucking get this guy going again. The fact is this with these women today. They are going to try to figure out what role you fit in their life. And actually, you know what? I think I want to turn this down a little bit. We'll see. Darken her up a little bit. Yeah, set the mood a little bit more, guys. We're smoking cigars. We're wearing a nice smoking jacket. Maybe that's a little bit too dark. That's good. They want to set the tone for the relationship and put you into their frame. What do you bring to the table? I want you in this position. Therefore, I'm going to put these terms on you to make sure that you give me what I want. I want this. I want this now. I want it on this timeline. You need to have these certain behaviors and characteristics, or else you're not going to get sex from me, or whatever, right? And as we all know, we're well into cuffing season right now. This is the beginning of cuffing season, right? We're in weeks 1 through 3 of cuffing season right now. And these girls, what they're going to do is they're going to sit there and they're going to tell you, I had my hot girl summers. I did all this stuff. Now it's time for you to be my boyfriend, because what I want to do, even though I'm living at home with mom and dad, or even though I'm living in a fucking dingy $1,100 a month studio apartment with my 2 cats, I want you to give me a relationship right now, because we're moving into the holiday season and I am not showing up to Thanksgiving dinner at 29 going on 30 without a boyfriend, without a prospect, without my parents putting the pressure on you when we go to this holiday to say, oh, so where's this relationship going? Is marriage in the future? Children? Oh, I always wanted little grandkids, right? To put the pressure on the man. Meanwhile, they got this fucking snooty little brat of a girl living with them still at 29 years old, sneaking off at fucking midnight to go bang a Chad. They know damn well what's going on. They know she's fucking this crazy girl that has no ability to gain and garner a relationship, but they're going to try to trick a guy into giving her this. 1, for them to get her the hell out of there, but 2, for her. She deserves a man. And that's what's wrong with these women today, is they believe that they deserve. And again, going back into all the stuff that I talked about in the last few podcasts, this is all from media and education, right? Teaching women from the get-go, you go girl, you deserve this. This is how it should be, right? Here's your timeline to happiness and success. You have the P power. Thank you very much, Andrew. I appreciate the shekels. I'm going to post that up right now too, because I want you to all take an example from Andrew, right? He just PayPal'd me some shekels while I was live on air. Very nice. He actually did it. Thank you very much. You guys can do the same thing. It's very easy. Keeps me going. Gets me out of my funk that I'm in right now. On Twitter, I posted up something the other day. I was at the gym. I was actually leaving the gym. I couldn't believe I heard this conversation. This girl she's just getting out of her car, and she's probably 29 to 32 range. She's probably a good 5.5, right? She's in all right shape, but she's just like run down and ragged. It looks like she's been doing, I'd probably guess she was like 32. Hair's all nappy. White girl too, by the way. Hair's all nappy. Her face, her skin is just kind of, and her whole disposition was just super low class. Low class. And she's on her phone like this. If you ever want to get that dick back inside of this pussy, you're going to need to put in a lot more effort. That's all I heard. And I just kept walking. And it was the most like ghetto, low class type of language, the way she was speaking to this dude. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this woman is like 32 years old. And she thinks that she could talk to men like this. And of course, the guy on the other end, I don't know what's going on with him, but of course he probably acquiesced and smoothed it over because this is what these women will do. They believe, and well, actually, fact of the matter is this, they only bring one thing to the table, and that's their pussy. And I'll tell you one thing, guys, when it comes to relationships and when it comes to women, of course, that's the first thing that I want. That's the first thing that I'm going to get into. I'm going to make sure the sex is good, make sure that she gives it up to me and all that stuff. But that's not all that she can bring to the table. After I get that pussy, it's for me personally, because I get bored really easily. As you guys all know, I can never be monogamous. I'm always going to have a rotation of women. Always, 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 always. But for me, that pussy's going to get old quickly. Quickly. I'm not going to be having sex with you 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week. I have a rule, I have a boundary that I only see a girl twice a week. Twice a week. At most. Twice a week at most. Unless she's my quote unquote girlfriend. And then I'll see her 3 times a week, possibly. But that's on rare occasion. I'm busy. I got stuff going on. I'm doing other things. I'm fighting. I'm lifting. I'm fucking going out to eat. I'm networking with other men. I'm going to fucking men's stuff, right? I got shit going on, right? I really do. I'm also going and seeing other women. That's really what it comes down to, right? One pussy isn't going to satisfy me. So you need to bring something of value that's going to want me to have you in my life for a continuous amount of time, for me to continue a relationship. Oh, man. But these women, they don't realize this. The whole campaign that has been taught to them in their upbringing, from social media, from education, from their parents, is that all you need to do is just put in enough to get them in a relationship, get men in a relationship. And then after there, you can just sit on your back, sit on your ass. That's it. And then you could start nitpicking and nagging and chipping away at him. That's what it comes down to. You don't need to cook for him. That's slave work. You don't need to give him back rubs and massages. You already paid him up front with those blowjobs and good sex for the first couple weeks that you dated. You don't even need to do that stuff anymore. Start chipping away at that. You don't need to be pleasant. You don't need to be supportive. He needs to provide to you. He needs to be the one making you happy. That's what these women are accustomed to. This is why these relationships don't work. This is what modern women believe. The fact of the matter is this, and here's my advice to that gentleman, the gentleman that's on the phone. If she's bitching at you about something, keep doing it. There's a reason why she's bitching at you. It's because she likes it. Women love indignation. Women love drama. They love being treated like objects. They love wondering why. This is a key part of game. I talk about this in my Sex and Sales book. Women love wondering why you're not that guy that is treating them like a princess. And that's what's most attractive to them. That's what's most arousing and attractive to them. They'll bitch and moan till the day they fucking die about how you treat them. But you got to keep doing it. You got to keep doing it. The way you caught her is the way you keep her. Seriously. The way you caught her is the way you keep her. The man you were, the game you were playing when you got her is the game you keep playing, and you never show your cards. Keep saying this. Be the magician. You need to be the magician in the relationships. You never reveal your illusions or your tricks. Have her think it's really, truly magic. You're better off that way. Then when she begs you, come on, let me see the trick. Let me see the trick. Let me see the trick. I know it's just an illusion. It's not magic, right? You just say, it is 100% magic. Now shut your mouth and get on your knees, right? Let me pry that fucking shit open with something else. Yeah, daddy doesn't always buy them a lollipop. Exactly. It's insane to me that this is the way things are right now, though. It really is. That the older a woman gets, the more she believes she could place terms and conditions on a relationship, even though her value is greatly diminishing. She knows it. And this is why she puts more terms and conditions on it. Instead of being upfront and honest and clear with her boundaries in a relationship, she instead plays these little games, little childish games. I want a man with this. I want a man with this. I want a man with this. This is what he has to have. This is how it's going to be. Oh, I made all those mistakes in the past of sleeping with men on the first date. So now we're going to wait till date 3. They really don't understand that because they have diminished value. Putting any of those further terms and conditions is going to push men further and further away. And as a matter of fact, if a guy does take the time to even wait those 3 days to get the puss, get in the sheets, that's really all he's going to do is just categorize her as a lay, and that's it. The way modern women need to play this, especially if they're in the 28 to 32-year-old range, the way they need to play it is they need to go and they need to be upfront and honest with men. I know this sounds crazy. So first and foremost, they need to go and pursue men, right? Hey, I think you're attractive. I like your energy. That's a good one. I love being complimented. I really do. You want to know why I love being complimented? Because I barely ever get complimented, especially from women, ever. So when a woman compliments me, I'm like, oh, wow, that took some fucking, I don't want to say balls, but that took some courage because you're going against the way of the times. Showing an indicator of interest, right? Talking to him, saying, hey, I think it'd be awesome if we went out sometime. That'd be awesome. I'd love to. You know, a woman doesn't even need to be that direct. She can even just say, what's a good thing for her to say? I'm really liking this. I'm really liking our connection. I'm really liking this connection. I'm really loving this conversation. And then let the man jump in. Oh, you really like this? We should do this again. How about a coffee date? Take him up on the fucking coffee date. Go on the coffee date. Get to know him there a little bit. Have fun. Dress cute. Smell nice. Compliment him further. Touch his knee. Right? Make sure you get his number. Make sure he gets your number. To connect outside of where you were just at. But women won't do that today. I had that conversation that night with that one chick. I said, you need to start going in environments and areas where these men that you're looking for are. You need to date an older man. An older man will scoop you up in a second. 29 years old, you're cute. Scoop you up in a second. But you got to play the game. You can't just sit back and rest and fucking think that someone or something is just going to show up at your doorstep. And you can't do the online dating stuff anymore. You cannot, women. You can't. If you're looking to get married, you cannot do the online dating stuff anymore. You need to do it organically. And you need to be the one to show the interest. The hashtag movement that we discuss quite often. That ruined approaching for men. Same boat. Same boat. And that's the thing. If you're a 28 to 32-year-old woman or 34 years old and you're looking to get married, put out on the first date. You've already done it with fucking Chad and Tyrone and fucking Enrique. You know what I mean? And maybe even a fucking Ahmad, right? Sure as hell went to Greece and put out for the fucking bartender in that Greek bar, right? But now you want to get a relationship and you think, oh, I'm not going to put out. Come on. We're in the day and age now where we got to see the goods up front. We got to see the goods up front. We got to know where you're at. Make it happen. There's no shame in that game. Then put your boundaries forward, right? Even on that coffee date. You see him at the supermarket, you walk right up to him. Oh, excuse me, sir. Are you lost? Because I found you, right? Right? Something that fucking cheesy. Oh my God, that's so funny, right? Touch his arm, touch his bicep. Oh, I just wanted to see, if you were concealing. Something so stupid like that. Like, make the guy fucking blush a little bit. Let him know you're interested. Girl game. I talked about this in my new book, right? Order from Chaos. I talk about girls and flirting and all this other stuff and learning how to talk to men and putting it out there. You women have been the ones that have moved society so far to the left that we're not budging anymore. We men aren't budging anymore. You got to come to us now. You do. You got to take accountability and understand you ladies were the ones that ruined this entire sphere. So now you got to, if you want to get the results, because there are men out there that want to get married and be in a relationship. There are tons of them. Hey, I've seen you. I noticed you. I'm interested. Let's go get some coffee. Then when you're on the coffee date, talk about what you're dreaming of. Be honest with him. That's where I was going from the get-go. Be honest with him. Hey, listen. I'm not trying to put too much pressure on this, but some of my end goals are this, right? I'm looking to get married and have children. Where are you at on that? Not, hey, I'm looking to get married in 2 years or before 2 years and have 2 kids and all this other stuff. Sell it in a way. Sell it to them in a way. Here's my dream. My dream is to be married in a couple of years and have some children and all this other stuff. Don't put hey, I'm looking to get married, blah, blah, blah. Just mention it. Mention it as a dream. That's my goals. This is what I'm trying to do. Be soft, sweet, feminine. Sell it to them. Seduce them a little bit. And say, hey, listen, I'm free tomorrow night if you'd love to hang out and meet up. What would you like for me to cook? Come over. I'll cook you a nice steak with some asparagus and a fucking nice salad. Right? We'll open up a bottle of red. And then open something else up. Right? It's that simple. But modern women today refuse to look stupid. They're so conditioned to always having to be right that they refuse to ever look stupid. And the worst part about that is when you try not to look stupid and you stay so grounded in a belief system that is so wrong. It's so obviously wrong, and it's so obviously tearing you apart on the insides. You look even more stupid. That's why everybody talks about this. They say, we live in a clown world right now. It's because all these people look like clowns. They look like clowns because of the fact that they are just so dead headstrong on living out this idealized fantasy that people are just like, yo. Like, that's really not where we're at. We're not there anymore. That we played with the idea. We've tested it. It doesn't work. We need to move on. But this group of people can't admit that they're wrong. Their ego invested. Shit. Killed my cherry. So this is what it comes down to, is if you want the results, you have to listen. You have to listen to what the buyer is desiring. Now, me personally, I'm never actually going to settle down with a modern woman. Me personally. I'm too high value of a man. And this isn't me trying to sit here and toot my horn. I just know what I bring to the table. I know my taste. I know all this other stuff, right? I'm not going to, I want a woman that's moldable. I want a woman that's going to come into my life pretty much complete blank slate. First real relationship. And she's going to be in a state where it's like ride or die with this dude kind of deal. Like I have to follow his lead. That's the plain and simple way of it. It's the only way I'll get into a relationship, like a real relationship where there's a future. But there's millions of men in categories less than mine, right? In the 80% lower, right? And I'm just saying this. I am making a bold claim saying that I'm in the top 20% of men. And I say that just because of now that I've been teaching guys for so long, online dating and how to date, there's a very big difference between the amount of attention that I get and the results that I received online dating in comparison to how men that don't get the same results. I see this. It was very easy for me. It was very easy for me to online date. My script killed it for sure. But I also have some advantages, right? Looks department, the way I present myself, so on and so forth. Other guys that are in the bottom 80% of today's sexual marketplace, they're struggling. I think still to this day, the average amount of women a man has slept with in America is 7. And I might even be over exaggerating that number. I'm at 253 right now, right? Like there's a big difference between those two numbers, right? We really look at it that way. So I understand my place in the market. I understand my value. So I have a different strata of women and type of women and type of relationships that I'm going to formulate. But there are millions of men that are in that 50% category of the 80%, let's just say, because the bottom 20% are the incels, right? The undesirables. Quit smoking. It's a cigar. Straight edge. Cigars are good every once in a while, my friend. You should learn to enjoy them. And you don't inhale, by the way. So with that said, women need to understand, especially as they gain in age, they don't have the same amount of purchasing power. They don't have the same amount of power when it comes to their sale. So they're going to have to understand what their value is, and they're going to have to pitch their product, which is themselves, to the right type of client. And you have to know the sales strategy to get that man. You're not going to be able to pitch your sales strategy at a man like me. So you're going to have to find someone in the 7 and below category, let's just say, right? For men. And you're going to have to approach them that way. And even if you do approach someone of higher value, because there might be men out there, I've seen this, I live in San Diego. You should see some of the guys that I'd consider to be like, you'd consider looks-wise and value-wise. You'd say, that guy's an 8. What's he doing with that girl? There's a lot of men here. There's a lot of men in the world today that really underestimate their value. And they'll wittingly settle down with a 5.5. Wittingly. And it's probably because she used some level of girl game. She probably used some level of girl game to get that guy. And more power to her, because there are so many women out there that are not putting forth the effort. So a guy like that in that category is probably like, you know what? This is far more congruent with my lifestyle. It's like, for instance, my dog Chance. My dog Chance is a perfect partner for me. Why? He has the right looks and style. and his temperament, the way he behaves, the way he listens, the way our relationship flows. I had another dog. Like right after I got him, I got another dog. I got a German short hair pointer. This was when I was like really like I was looking to go and live off the grid. As a matter of fact, I did. And I said, I thought at that point that's when everything was going to collapse. So I said, I want a bird dog. I want a hunting dog so that I could be able to hunt if shit goes down. And this dog was so high energy. She was so fucking high energy that I was like, man, I cannot put up with this. I can't put up with this. I loved her to no end, don't get me wrong. And what ended up happening too was really cool. I ended up living on a ranch for a little while. And the ranch owner there was just like, oh my God, I love this dog. I've always wanted this dog. I've always wanted this style of dog. She loves it here, all this other stuff. And I was just like, ding, ding, ding. I was like, I can't tolerate her, right? Like, I hate to say that, but I just can't tolerate her. She needs energy. She needs to run. She needs space. She needs all this stuff. And I said, hey, listen, I'd be willing to part ways with her. He's like, oh my God, thank you so much. Great bird dogs. They're great bird dogs. You have to have the right temperament to be able to deal with that. I see so many people out here that go and get Huskies and German Shepherds, and it's not like they go and work out every day. It's not like they run fucking 10 miles, right? Like, especially, when they're that young, you need to run the fuck out of them. You need to work them. You need to work them. What? That doesn't make any sense. Anyway. So this is what I'm talking about, is most guys are also going to look for a relationship with a woman to match temperaments. A lot of guys get it wrong because it's funny because I'm rather extroverted, but in my age now, I'm also very introverted. So I go out and I do extroverted things. And after I go and do extroverted things, I retreat back to my place for a while. And I do very introverted things. And I stay away from that scene or whatever for a little while. Then I go back out when I want to do whatever. I am not the type of guy that, I do not go out every weekend, every night of the weekend. I don't do Thirsty Thursdays or Taco Tuesdays. And then I'm out Friday, Saturday night. And then I go and do brunch Sundays and all this. That's not me. I'm not a basic bitch type of dude. I could never be with a basic bitch type woman. I couldn't be with a woman that is that high maintenance that needs to go and do these social things all the time. Right? So that's the other thing that women have to understand when they're pursuing men. You got to understand this person's temperament. Or if you're going to be dating someone who's high up in the business scene, who's doing a lot of deals and all this other stuff, those social events are going to happen. But they're going to be fewer and far between, because in between these key social events, dude's going to be working a lot. He's going to be doing a lot of shit. He's not going to be home all the time. He's not going to be there when you're sitting there like, oh, I want to go out Thursday night to this whatever to get fucking drinks and hors d'oeuvres. Then let's go out Friday night and let's hit the bar scene and the club scene so we can go and schmooze. And then no. That dude's going to be busy a lot. He's not going to be able to do that shit. You got to understand how to play it. You got to know how to sell it to him. Good question. What factors do you use to estimate your value as a man, 1 through 10? For me personally, there's a big debate that goes on when it comes to what the lineup should be for your value as a man. A lot of people think that money is everything. I don't believe so. I think status has a lot more to do with money, because if you have status, the money will show up. But before you get into status, you have to have a composure about yourself. Because I could be high status within a I'm gonna so perfect. All right, we're back. I'm telling you guys, every time it rains here and we get storm clouds and stuff like that, internet here's acting up, and I'm hardwired in. So anyway, let's go back to that. So one thing I've come to realize is there's a lot of women out there that will be attracted to like a gang member or a gang leader or a drug dealer or even a pimp, right? That guy's status in his community is upwards of a 9 or a 10. He may not be the best looking dude on the block, but he is going to be somewhat fresh, right? He's got enough social credibility and enough social dynamic skills to be able to have such a status within that community. And to women in that community, or even possibly outside of that community, he's going to be a 10, right? He's going to be a 10. Look at Biggie Smalls, right? The Notorious B.I.G. Even before he made it big, the dude was still pimping. Dude was still pimping, right? And if you haven't seen Notorious, the not a documentary, but the movie about him, it shows this. He found a way to find and create status, and through his status, he learned how to become more. His game was on point. So he had game and he had some status, and then the money came because of his game and his status. Getting into dealing and all that other stuff, right? So he didn't have the looks department, but he gained status and he gained, what's it called? Yeah, he was drug maxing for sure. So what comes along with status, though? What makes you high status? Actually, I have a book that's over there from Jason Capital. It's about being higher status. I think status has more to do with it than looks and money, although your status will depend on your looks and money. But more so it has to do with what you bring to the table as far as value to other people in a network. The other thing is how good you are with social dynamics. Social dynamics plays an even higher role in status. Look at Trump, for instance. Not a good looking dude. Not the best looking dude. But he crushed it in that way because he understands social dynamics. He knows how to get in under people's skin, but have them love them and hate him at the same time, right? And then, of course, the money didn't help. The money helped. Confidence. That's part of your social status. The way you interact with people. How direct you are. So I say status is the culmination of understanding social dynamics, which I think is the highest part of it. Then I think looks are of big importance. I think looks matter more than most people think. If you're not in shape, you're already at a detriment. If you don't have some semblance of style, right, you're already at a detriment. You could be low class, right, not have a lot of money, but still look good and still carry yourself in a high status manner. And then, of course, the cherry on top, which probably makes up for about 20 of it, is money. Money will start to open doors, and money will start to magnify the other 80% of the things that you've accomplished. But I think that drive, determination, your willingness and desire to understand social dynamics and climb up the social ladder, I think that has more to do with your value than anything. My value was high because I understood how to market myself via online dating and dating in general. And then my mouthpiece, my wit, my humor, my banter, my ability to create a social dynamic, to give her the tingles, to arouse her senses, to arouse her sensibilities, to let her understand that she couldn't control me. Those were all things that boosted my value up. Now, the next biggest thing when it comes to value for women and other men, believe it or not, is your ability to source women. If you are pre-selected by women, especially women that look pretty good, you automatically have status. Automatically have status. So, it's a revolving door. It's a revolving door. Everything falls back onto everything else. Everything builds on everything else. LSD, I like that. I like it. It's cool. Anyway, I'm going to ask you guys in the chat. We got a bunch of people watching today. If I have anyone who wants to call in, put a 1 in the chat because I'll open up the calls again. But if no one's going to call in, I'm not going to waste my time on it. I'll just get off and go eat because I haven't eaten yet. Yeah, use it, bro. I like it. So 1's in the chat for anyone who wants to call in and ask some questions about this stuff today. We'll talk about it all. You guys just got to ask the questions. Getting over that fear is the first thing you got to do. Just currently scrolling through to see if there's any good questions in the chat. We got a comment. I'm cooking. That's fine. I'd love to call in, but I'm using my data right now, so no Wi-Fi at work. Okay? Request Gookfish Trawler to call in. I don't even know if he's watching anymore. I haven't seen anything from him in a second. Oh yeah, I'd have to turn that on too. Fuck. Beep. All right, I opened it up. Fuck it. Are you still eating steak? Yes. I'm about to go eat some steak right after this. I got some nice short sirloin on sale, $3 a pound at Vaughn's the other day. Bought up like 9 pounds of it. It was really good. Good question here. Could you talk a little bit about Jason Capital? I've seen some of his stuff, but a lot of people call him a scam. Not sure if he is or legit. The book's pretty good, though. I like the book. I haven't seen a lot of stuff about him. I know that he is tied and linked up to Dan Pena, And I think Dan Pena got him on the kind of like hype train, super sales focused and all this other stuff. From what I saw, I think Jason Capital was also pretty dedicated to one woman, and he seemed pretty blue pill to me. So I don't think I recommend his stuff in the sense of understanding relationships. I think he got on board with going kind of down the Tony Robbins route of believing that relationships need to be like equal and everything is happy-go-lucky. Look at my photos. We're holding hands. We're walking on the beach. Everything is fucking beautiful and all this other stuff. I don't believe that. I think that relationships are dirty work, and I think people need to hear the truth about relationships. Women, you need to do this. Men, you need to do this. And I think it needs to be separate. So that's actually the direction I want to go with my new channel, I think. I think I want to go down the route of relationship coaching and helping from not so much from like a red pill perspective, but from a truth perspective. Instead of selling and pandering to people like, hey, hang on one second, I got you. I'm going to have to share this. Give me 1 second, Moses, all right? Let me answer this question as well. How do you figure out your weak points to increase social sexual value? I think that's a really good question. One thing I've noticed with a lot of men is they're not confident in their speaking. Your greatest thing for social value is going to be this, your mouthpiece. Your mouthpiece is going to help you out with sales. Your mouthpiece is going to help you out with every single social, sexual dynamic that you're involved in. If you're too timid to speak, if you don't speak clearly and concisely, if you don't speak with confidence and hold yourself with confidence, if you don't know how to publicly speak, you're going to be very bad with this environment that I'm speaking of, because you have to be confident. You also have to understand when the pressure's on you, having that direct focus and energy placed on you. You have to understand how to slow the thoughts down in your mind and then connect it to this thing right here. That's where a lot of people go wrong. This is why I recommend to a lot of people to get into Toastmasters. It's kind of lame. It's a little bit lame, but you get more out of it than all that other stuff, right? Because they teach you how to, on the spot, ad-lib things and how to speak in a calm, direct manner. And you can get instant feedback from the audience to see if you're hitting the mark or not. Really believe in it. I really, really do. Sounds cheesy and corny, but get into that. Learn how to publicly speak. Learn how to compose yourself. Learn how to compose your thoughts. Learn how to speak to people. It's huge. Most people avoid it. The number one fear for people is public speaking, believe it or not. So you got to learn how to publicly speak. That's going to be the best. The next thing to do is to people watch. Go to places all by yourself and watch how people behave and interact. And start to come up with your own conclusions about what is going on in that dynamic. I have been a huge people watcher my entire life. This has helped me understand the underlying things that most people take for granted and don't look into. It sounds crazy, but it's so much now that I understand how to speak and I know how to read people that I know better than them what they're thinking and what's going through their mind and how they're going to react and interact. %. Glad you're on board with it. Good question, Gregory, by the way. Thank you very much. I'm going to go over to Zoom. I got to add the link in here real quick. Window. Zoom. Share. Moses, can you hear me? Hang on 1 second. I got to. Hey. Hello.
Awesome. You can hear me good now?
Yep. Hang on 1 second. Oh, shoot. I got something playing here. What the hell's going on? Hang on 1 second. All right. There we go. All right. Go ahead.
Well, you basically already, magically already kind of touched in with my question, because I was going to ask you, today I did an approach to this girl that worked at the gun store, right? I was just checking out the guns and stuff, and she was just adorable. But yeah, like in the approach, it went pretty good, I would say. She had a boyfriend, so she didn't give me her phone number. I gave her mine though.
Good for you.
Like it was just kind of one of the things that I've noticed with myself, right? Is that my mind just tends to get clouded, right? Like instead of flowing, it gets clouded because I said something like, oh, so she said, I asked her, are you single? I have one more question for you. Are you single? And it's just like, no, unfortunately, I have a boyfriend. I'm like, oh, sorry, I get it.
Yeah.
And I kind of disqualified my where they were just wrong. But then I asked her, is he pretty big or could I take him? And she's like, I think you could take him, possibly. And then I said, well, let me meet him so I can fight him in the name of you. Just kind of laughed. Like hugely, right? She kind of appreciated it.
Sure.
But like, I didn't push it more than like that was a pretty good sign. I mean, she said, yeah, possibly, right? So this dude's probably skinny, not,
She's in a comfortable relationship with a fucking whatever guy, right? He's a placeholder. He's a placeholder. So what you did was you pushed the place and you put into her mind, you could be with me instead. I'm a better choice, which I think is great. So let me break this down a little bit because I also approached today, really cute girl, really cute. She was fun. She was really interested in me, but she also too had a boyfriend. Now, one thing I wouldn't have said, I would have changed it up a little bit. But I understand that you're in rural land, right? Where that kind of cheesiness you could get away with of like, let me fight him for your honor. I normally wouldn't say something like that because I'm not gonna put into her mind that I'd fight another man for her, right? Me generally, because I mean I'm in San Diego. These girls, whatever, right? I'm not gonna be that type of guy.
Just too cocky.
No, it's too white knighty. Does it make sense?
It makes sense, but with this girl, like she was just more conservative looking. Right?
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. For your out of work, in a city or you that it's easy enough, right? It's the other thing I wanted to do was never ask a girl, my so. So I never asked the girl that has a boyfriend. You're kind of asking permission. So instead, go. Absolutely. But it's your job to slow it down. Does it make sense? Because you're both nervous. There's obviously, because that's the thing you got to feel in a social dynamic. There's an energy exchange that's going on that's causing things to pick up. Right? There's arousal there. Even though she has a boyfriend, that doesn't stop her from being aroused.
Yeah, no, the energy definitely changed once I asked her that question.
Yeah.
Bro, she blushed so fucking.
Yeah, she loved it. She loved it. So that's your job, is to slow the conversation down and steer it a little bit. Let me ask you a question. Have you been reading Sex and Sales?
Dude, I was about to I literally worked 14 days straight.
No worries.
16 hours a day. But I was gonna open it up just right now because I just got done cleaning my house. But I saw that you were live, and I was like, what?
Everything I'm talking about, everything that we're talking about right now, as far as this dynamic, is within the book. So I teach you how to pace and gauge the conversation, right? How to slow it down, how to ask the right questions to start steering it in the direction you want it to go. And then that's when you go for your kill. When you go for the close, right? You go for your soft sell and then your hard sell. It's good stuff.
Let's say when you after building a little bit of rapport, you would just straight up ask her like, well, hey, I kind of, I would say, at least me personally, I'd be like, hey, I think you're absolutely adorable. Would you like to go on a date? That's better than are you single?
100%. Because now you're wrapping it into what your close is, right? So we got to understand the difference between the soft sell. What's really the purpose of your conversation in this state? Hard sell be.
At that stage, the purpose is just to get her phone number.
Yes, that's your hard sell. So what's your soft sell before that?
I don't know.
It's the date. It's hanging out. Right? Because your soft sell is going to gauge, it's going to be able to determine whether or not you get to the hard sell. So for instance, let's set this up, right? Building rapport, we're flirting a little bit, all this other stuff. I'm going to go into my soft sell now. I know, boom, this is my time. My goal is to get to my hard sell. My hard sell is the number. How do I bridge this gap between where we're at right now to authentically move this conversation in the direction of getting her number without going directly for a hard sell? Because the hard sell is going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Hey, I think you're cute. What's your number? Right? No. There's got to be a little bit of. There's got to be a teaser there. What's the point of the number? Right? So my soft sell is going to be like, I'm really liking this connection. We should hang outside. We should hang out sometime outside of here. You down? And you see how direct I am with that too? It's not, hey, would you like to? That's long. It's passive. I like this connection. I like the direction this is going. We need to hang out outside of here. You down? That simple.
Yeah, gotcha.
Right?
Yeah, I have a little bit of a resistance because, like, obviously, at the store, it's just a different dynamic.
Oh, it's super hard. Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure there because there's people there.
Yeah.
She's doing her job. You kind of got her trapped in a way, right? You don't really know if she's interested in you or if she's just being nice to get the sale, right?
Yeah.
Her coworkers could be there. Her boyfriend could be there working.
Regardless, yeah, this is what I did today. I was pretty happy about how it went. I gave her at the end, like, I went back and I was like, asked her a couple of questions, opened it up, and I'm like, hey, where's your guys' relationship going?
Good.
And she's like, well, we're dating, Like,
yep.
Are you guys engaged? Are you guys gonna get married soon?
Good man.
Yeah. And then I was like, well, let me give you my phone number in case he's not treating you right. And then she was like, okay, sure. Which is a main answer. But I gave her my phone number and she's like, so I can call you if I start, if he makes me cry. And then I was like,
yeah,
well, hopefully not that way, but yeah, I'll treat you good. And then that's when we said our advice and left. But yeah, like my mind did cloud a lot because like it was good. She was giving like good signals, but yeah. You were saying something about the honey toasters. Like, what is that about?
That's called Toastmasters. So that's a group of people that get together every week and they practice public speaking.
Is that like online or what?
They do some online since COVID, but I recommend you do it in person.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out then. See what that's up because yeah, I wanna improve the social dynamics and just like I'm good when it comes to writing or if the conversation is slow, but like right there, I did notice that just like my mind clouding. I wasn't really hearing what she was saying.
For sure, yeah. The tunnel vision came in. The pressure kind of came to the forefront, and you were just kind of like, "Oh shit, I can't believe I'm." call him Mr. Then, right? You fight that. Set up. To go over to the day, go over the word of the day. We people that role change role, play the role.
Oh, no.
All right, cool. So the way it works, yeah, is you have these roles, then it goes into like 2 or 3 people that have prepared speeches already, and then they give their speech, and then the people in certain roles get up and they judge and critique their speech. Then you go around the room and you vote for who had the better speech or whatever. Then directly after that, everyone gets involved, and you have these 1-minute rounds where you get called on. People call on you or whatever, or you can get up and do whatever. And you have to use the word of the day in like a 1-minute speech. So you get to practice like, I forgot what they call it.
YouTube is also going down.
Maybe it's YouTube or maybe it's, oh wait, maybe it's this. Zoom share. All right, cool. You're up in here. But either way, what was the last thing you heard? It was just me talking about the ad lib stuff for
You said something.
The improv.
You call it something, and I think you're referring to like
the improv part.
stand up on a 1-minute round.
Yep, probably one of the best parts of it. It teaches you so much, gets you comfortable being on the spot.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out when I go.
Carries directly over to sales, carries directly over to game, carries directly over to talking to women.
No, absolutely.
And when you could do it in person, if you can go to an in-person one, I highly recommend it rather than doing it online.
No, absolutely. I'm gonna check it out online. Well, I was already thinking like my uncle, he went to like some stand-up classes, and it's for that, because like, especially like when you grow up kind of introverted, it's like you just get that kind of cloudiness a lot. I mean, I'm a lot better now. I can hold my ground, but yeah, I was just like, damn, this girl is like, I could have been a lot better,
Sure,
more direct.
but
in that interaction, but I kind of canceled myself out, which really pissed me off right afterwards. Like,
but you should also be proud, though. You should be proud that you took your shot. So also give yourself congratulations and adulation, right? Because you took your shot. You just got to get a little bit better. 95% of men would have never taken the shot.
Yeah, hopefully next time I go in, it's just like,
yeah, and make fun of it and have fun with it too. Next time you see her, like, how's that boyfriend working out? Did he start lifting weights yet? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, offer's still on the table if you want to go grab some steak and a beer. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a good recommendation. TK says become a waiter for 6 months. That will give you skills. I actually really, truly agree with that as well. It's a very good point. A very good point.
Yeah, freaking, if I could deal with the $9 an hour.
Yeah, no shit. Absolutely.
Anyways, that's all I have for today.
No worries. Yeah, start reading it and send me a message and let me know how you're liking that book so far.
All right, for sure.
Cool. All right, my man.
See you tonight.
You too, buddy. I'll see ya. And meeting. Gentlemen, apologies for the internet today. Maybe it has something to do with us being fucking hacked by China or something like that. But anyway, this is shit. Bad TV. I don't care though. With that said, guys, I don't know when I'll be back on. I'm going to keep you all posted. Please do go and join me on Twitter. I'll make more live announcements there. We'll see where we go with this, but I wanted you guys to kind of be abreast of what's going on. Maybe I was just in a bad mood today and just feeling fucking down about a lot of shit. I don't know. Who knows? But I feel better now. I really do. I love having these conversations. I love helping you guys. If there are people in this group or in the chat that want one-on-one coaching for talking to women, building up game, sales stuff, talking to people, overcoming fear, honestly, shoot me an email, lysanderxcaligo@gmail.com. That would be great. I'd love to get you guys coaching. Twitter handle is @AGodAmongstMen2. You could also reach out to me there too. Amongst Men 2. There's a handle in the chat. Feel free to shoot me a DM. Have a discussion with me. If you want some coaching, that would be awesome. That would also help me out too, because I'm trying to turn this into a profession, you know? If you guys need help in these departments, I can't always answer everyone's questions on here. If you have specific cases and all that stuff, I can't get into it. So reach out to me. If price is an issue, we could work on some price and some timing and all that stuff too as well, but I'd love to help you out. So shoot me an email or shoot me a DM. That'd be fucking epic. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Have a good evening and adios.